All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're not just looking at dry software specs, we're actually unpacking the cinematic blueprint for Daddy Pays, also known as Ching Ching. Imagine, if you will, a movie trailer playing right now in your head. The screen is dark, the music is super tense, and it sets the stage for a world totally divided by financial friction. We're talking about a landscape absolutely cluttered with apps, invisible borders, and digital walls keeping everyone's money trapped. It's a broken system, just waiting for a visionary builder to step in and fix it.
Man, just let this quote sink in for a second. He didn't build another payment app. He built the bridge. That right there is the tagline of our narrative, and it immediately tells us what we're dealing with today. It's a story about genuine connection, not just, throwing another random piece of software into an already crowded app store. Think about it. A bridge connects shores that were totally cut off from each other. It means crossing obstacles and closing the gaps. That is the core philosophy driving this entire project.
And here we have the focal point of that story. Let me introduce our protagonist, Luis Manuel Ortiz Inostroza. He's framed here not merely as a developer, but literally as the inventor. Our sources paint Luis as the kind of builder who sees exactly what the rest of us just sort of accept and ignore. While everyone else looks at a world chopped up by competing apps, complex rails, and borders, he doesn't see a permanent reality. He sees a temporary problem. He envisions a totally different future, and honestly, that vision is the engine driving this entire cinematic journey forward.
Which perfectly cues up Section 1, A Broken Financial World, or The Friction of Fragmented Finance. Okay, so this is the frustrating status quo that our protagonist is taking on. The contrast here is huge. On the left side, you've got the old system, which is basically our everyday struggle. I mean, we've all been there, right? Dealing with failed transfers, confusing cross-border limits, all that finance clutter that just makes you want to pull your hair out. But look at the right side, the new vision. It completely strips away that clutter and replaces it with one smart bridge. The ultimate goal, making your money move as easily and naturally as having a conversation. Moving right along to Section 2, Architect of the Bridge, building what should have existed. So this is the turning point where we realize that just adding more noise to the App Store is absolutely not the answer. Daddy Pays, or Ching Ching, isn't defined here as just lines of code. It's actually framed as a profound personal mission. It's a symbol of a future where payments are truly universal, accessible, and connected. It kind of forces you to see the tech not as a cold tool, but as a living, human participant in our everyday lives. Next up is Section 3, The Pressure of Invention and the Fight for a Universal Experience. Now we get into the unglamorous reality of building software. The real, heavy toll of true innovation. You can practically see the movie training montage happening across these steps. Step 1, the long, isolated nights. Then Step 2, the endless code. Step 3, the grueling testing. Step 4, facing those inevitable, crushing setbacks. And finally, Step 5, the breakthrough. It really maps out the relentless fight it takes to prove that a universal payment experience isn't just a pipe dream. It can actually exist.
Now, I absolutely love how the source material frames the technology on this one. We're not just reading off a list of app specs here. These features are framed as literal weapons, actively taking down a fragmented financial system. Voice control, QR transfer, global rails, spoken feedback. Every single time one of these features successfully works, it takes a sledgehammer to the outdated status quo. The better it works, the more of a threat it becomes to the old way of doing things. And that brings us to Section 4, More Than Just FinTech. A story of invention and identity. Here's where we zoom out and realize, wow, this narrative is about so much more than just moving digital currency around. It's about the emotional core. We're talking ownership, vision, and making the future real. Luis isn't just copying what's already out there. He's building what should have existed all along. And he stands right at the center of this connected future as the true inventor who had the sheer willpower to make it happen. Which brings us to the very end of our explainer, and I want to leave you with this provocative closing line drawn straight from the movie trailer concept. Coming soon, is this the invention the world didn't know it needed? It is such a brilliant hook. It really sparks your curiosity and makes you look down at your own phone and ask yourself, are we just settling for a fragmented reality? Do we actually need this unifying bridge to finally make money move as easily as a conversation? Well, I'll leave that for you to decide.